Throughout maritime history, there have been experts on the water who knew how to navigate and locate their bounty. These individuals held the secrets to where, when, and how. This still holds true today. Get ready for an angling experience filled with sea secrets, fantastic fishing, and great destinations. For on this show, it's only the captain and the camera.
On this episode of Captain's Tales, we are stealthily casting the backwater creeks and shallow water flats of Estero Bay.
Showing you guys what creek fishing in the summertime is all about. That is a freaking monster snook. Oh my gosh. My biggest snook ever. Unbelievable. Look at the mouth on it. I mean, how can we go past that without catching at least one, huh? Just out here fishing these oyster bars. What you want to look for is all the mullet. If you get an oyster bar with a bunch of mullet, redfish love to hang in with them.
On this charter, we are leaving from the ramp, heading out into Estero Bay, Florida. Our destination is the backwater creeks and shallow water flats that hold tarpon, snook, and redfish. Our captain on this trip is Ryan Clase, who is best known for his acuity in catching large redfish, tarpon, and snook. And today, he is creeping us through a labyrinth of backwater creeks and flats. The plan today is to cast live bait with spin tackle to rolling and popping fish working the tidal flow in this narrow and dark water realm.
Got him. Oh man, coming right at the boat. Look at this little guy. How cool is that? There's a good light over here. Got him. Showing you guys what creek fishing in the summertime is all about. Hopefully we can catch a few more of these. Look how gorgeous that little fish is. I love doing this. I love catching the big ones off the beach this time of year, but coming back in these creeks and doing this with these little guys on these light rods, man, that's gorgeous. There he goes.
The key thing here is to be very stealthy and have an active tidal current to succeed in catching fish.
Oh, he's got it. That's a monster snook. Oh, man. Huge snook. I don't know if we're going to get lucky with this guy. I got 20-pound leader on here. Oh, my gosh. Look at that snook. Oh, no. Oh, this would be a miracle if I catch this fish. See, I'm keeping the line real low though. Clearing a lot of those branches. Stick the rod as far as you can in the water. If he comes off, I hope y'all can see it on TV there. Man, ate it right on top of the water. Came up and boiled on it like a big tarpon. He turns out to be a snook. Look at the size of that snook. Oh my gosh, that leader's so frayed up. Oh my gosh, we got her. Oh, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at that leader. Look how small and frayed up that leader is. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Get a close up on that leader. Look at this. Look how lucky we got. Unbelievable. That is worth everything right there. That's worth the price of admission. Gorgeous. We were talking about you this morning. We knew you'd be in here, big girl. Didn't think we'd get you that quick. Wow. I mean, that fish is 38 inches probably. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm gonna let her go. Always important when you have a fish like this to support the fish's belly. Never hang them up like this and hold them by the jaw with two hands. Always get a hand underneath the stomach. When they're out of the water, a fish that's heavy like this, their body cannot support the body weight when it's out of the water. So always keep a hand under there. Wow. Look at that snook. I mean, shoot, there's not much that I can think of that's better than that. I want to talk a little bit about what we use to catch the redfish, the snook, the small tarpon. So we're going to start with the live bait part, which is always a great way to do it, especially in the summer. A lot of these fish are real hot. They don't like to eat artificials as well, unless you get them real early in the morning. But this is the bait we use. This is called a pilchard. We call them white bait here in Florida. Just a scale sardine. It's one of the best baits you can use all around for snook, tarpon, redfish. Especially in the creeks. So we fished a lot of current, a lot of mangrove points today, which is complete 180 of what we did last time. So those fish are staging in the current and they're waiting for bait to come through. So this bait right here is about as good as it gets. That's what we caught the two really big snook on this morning. Everything eats it, so it's great. This is the bait that we're gonna demonstrate on how to hook. This is a pilchard, like I said before. The two hook sizes that I like to use for the most part for snook fishing, red fishing, and the tarpon is a 2/0 and a 3/0 size hook. The best way to do it is you're just going to go right through the nose here. They have a soft spot and you just pull it right through the nose. So that allows them to free swim. And this 3/0 hook is going to match this bait size. If you were to put a 2/0 hook on this big of a bait, you'll get a lot of bites, but the gap on the bait and the hook is not big enough. And a lot of times the fish will come right down to the snook or redfish or tarpon's mouth and without getting the hook in it. So always make sure you have a big enough hook, but you don't want to go too big. You'll know if you're not getting bites that the hook is going to be too big and downsized just a little bit, but it has to match the bait size. So with a little bit smaller white bait, which is most common, you want to use a 2/0 size hook. A little bit bigger, you want to use a 3 or a 4. This is a great bait, especially in the creeks that we fished this morning. This is called a miradine, and it's just a small little imitation. You can see that it matches this white bait perfectly for the most part, and that's what these snook, redfish, tarpon. So if you can't get bait, which these baits are very hard to find sometimes, if you want to just go out for a few hours, pick yourself up some of these miradines. This is a skitter walk, one of the best topwater baits. And what you can see is, you know how it's a topwater is when it doesn't have a lip on it. So what you're going to do is it's just going to go along the top of the water. This attracts a lot of fish. Early morning, late evening is the time I recommend using a topwater. Once it gets a little bit hot, if you don't have live bait, you want to use something that swims under the surface like this miradine. This is actually a new company that I'm starting to use. It's called Flats HQ. This company makes soft baits, paddle tails, swim jerk baits. They make topwaters, and these are very successful. The dark water we fished this morning it kind of depends on the day, but most of the time you want a bait to match the watercolor. So if you have dark water, you want to have a dark bait. You can see this is like a root beer colored. It has some gold fleck in it, so when it shines in the sun underneath the water there, that'll allow the fish to see it. But this is a really good bait to use. Matches the watercolor. All the bait that's going to be living in the creeks or dark areas are going to be dark colored. Now, sometimes if you need just a reaction strike, Flats HQ also makes this in white, and white sometimes will get more bites. I don't know, just if they're in a real feeding mode, they can see the white better, but overall you want a dark bait, dark water. All right, so the rod and reel that we used today, we used a few different kinds, but they're all very similar. This is a St. Croix, medium heavy, so you have a heavy backbone, but still light action at the tip. You're able to cast a live bait a long ways. The 2 leaders that we used, very similar to last episode, 30 and 20 pound leader, and then this one has a 3/0 hook on it. I made sure I brought 4 rods today. They're all very similar to this. 2 had 20 pound leader and 2/0 hooks, and 2 had 30 pound leader and 3/0 hooks. Just a little bit bigger rod. That first big snook we caught, we got lucky, caught it on the 20 pound leader. I don't recommend doing that. That's hard to do. We got a little bit lucky with that one, and I said, you know what? I bet you there's another big snook in there. So I actually picked up another rod that had the 30 pound leader and a 3/0 hook, and just by the skin of our teeth, we got that monster snook. I don't know if we'd have caught it on 20 pound leader. So it's always good to have a few rods rigged up, ready to go with different pound leader. You never know what you're gonna run into. So you don't want to miss out on a fish of a lifetime because you got too light a tackle on all your rods. Moving on from the rod, this is a reel. Quantum makes this reel. It's a brand new reel, the Smoke PT Inshore, and this is made for saltwater. This reel holds up better in saltwater, and you can see the components are all opened up. They're easy to wash out. The drag system is very smooth on them, and really good reel overall inshore fishing. So the time of year we're fishing right now is actually in August, late August, and it's probably one of the hottest times of the year. But at the end of August, September, October are actually the best months to fish, and it's actually the slowest months for me. So if you were to call and book a charter that time of year, the fishing is the best. It's definitely September, October are my favorite months to fish overall. So what I like to offer is mostly inshore fishing. I fish from Estero Bay all the way to Pine Island Sound, North Pine Island, even into Charlotte Harbor. I go as far as Wiggins as well, which is North Naples. I try to cover a lot of water. I don't like fishing the same areas every day. I feel that it's not good to fish the same areas over and over again. You don't want to get into a routine of always fishing the same spots. So I'll pick up anywhere, Estero Bay, all the way up to Captiva. I'll pick you up at your dock. I'll pick you up at a couple of the boat ramps that are very accessible, very easy to park at. So I offer 4-hour, 6-hour, and 8-hour charters for all inshore fishing. You can come out here, book a trip with me, and we'll be able to catch all these fish that you saw on TV today. In creeks like this, though, you try to stay as far away as you can possibly stay away because they are so spooky. They know exactly what's going on. If you walk real loud on the boat, as you can see this morning, there's no waves, there's no noise going on in this creek. So if you come in here with a loud boat on your engine and you're stomping real loud on the boat, making a lot of noise, you'll see fish maybe at first. You'll see them all roll, and then you won't see them again because they're rolling and they're taking off. So you try to stay real quiet. We came in here real slow this morning. We had fish rolling all in this cove, and we just kind of worked our way in real slow. Didn't try to rush anything. There we go. Nice and marinated. A little heavier rod this time. Big ass snook. That is a freaking monster snook. Oh my gosh, I can't even move it. I want to see what this is. Gotta be a monster snook. Yep. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that snook. That's a 45-inch snook. Oh, I can feel the line all wrapped up. Oh, stay on. Man, that is awesome. Ate it right off the top of the water again. That last snook gave me a good fight, but when I hooked this one, that was a whole different pole. Unbelievable. Right here. Gonna go in that tree and try. Oh my gosh. We saw one swimming down this creek. Oh, get off that branch. That was lucky. Oh my gosh. That is a monster snook. Oh, that leader's so bad. Oh, she's barely hooked. Oh my God, that is awesome. Look at the mouth on that thing. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Arms aren't long enough. Look at the size of that snook. Oh my gosh, that is why we all fish right there. Well, we were gonna do a baby tarpon show, but I think we'll air this. That's what we're not sure the exact measurement, but 48, 50 inches, somewhere right in there. It's gotta be close to 50. That's probably one of my biggest snook ever. Unbelievable. Look at the mouth on that thing. Okay, I'm gonna get her back in the water. I can't get over how big that fish is. She's doing good. Get her in this current. I wanna show you one little trick with big fish. Not just snook, redfish, tarpon, everything. If you have current like this, just hold her head into the current, okay? And just swim her back and forth. You never wanna take a fish and go back and forth like this real hard, because what you're giving them oxygen, but when you back them up, you're taking it right away. Fish aren't designed to go backwards. Their gills, you'll see they'll come backwards and takes the air right back out of their lungs. So if you get a fish, or if you don't have any current like this, see, I'm just able to hold this big snook in the current and she'll just breathe like she's swimming. But if you don't have current, take the fish and just wag it back and forth like this. It'll allow the fish to breathe without taking the oxygen back out of its gills. Look at that. Gorgeous. All right, big girl. Thanks for coming. I'll let you go. There she goes. Swimming off perfect.
We made a move to the adjacent shallow water flats, and Captain Ryan is instantly hooked up.
He is not happy. Came right at the boat. They've been doing that lately. They'll come right at you. Hook them, they come right at you. And then they fight behind the boat. That is a nice fish. Nice fish. I mean, how can we go past that without catching at least one, huh? Nice fish, look at that.
Captain Ryan's experience, patience, and athletic angling abilities to accurately work these backwater havens for the species that keeps us coming back for more is uncanny. He makes it all come together when locating, casting, and catching fish for a very exciting and successful day on the water.
Just out here fishing these oyster bars. What you want to look for is all the mullet. If you get an oyster bar with a bunch of mullet, redfish love to hang in with them. That is a big redfish.
Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales. Follow us on Facebook each week as we fish with captains who live their lives on the water.
Join us again next week for another episode of Captain's Tales, and try one more fishing spot online. Log on to www.captainstales.com.